Hey, welcome back to the studio. It's Rich, and today I'm drawing Wolverine from the front, looking straight at you. This is going to be about proportions and anatomy. If you're interested in those subjects, stay here. We'll be talking a lot about them. I always start with the head and the big center line down. Now, once you know the size of the head, you can figure out the rest of the body. That's the only unit of measurement that you need to know. The body is about 3 heads wide. So next to the head, you would draw one on the other shoulder and one on the other shoulder. And that should line up with the edges of the shoulder and how wide that body is going to be. And approximately 1 head's length down is going to be the nipple line, or the bottom of the pecs. And about 3 heads down total, so about half the body length will line up with right there where the pelvis is, and then yeah, the rest of that down. So the upper leg, the part that I'm drawing now, that's going to be approximately 1 head length long. And then you have the knees, and then you have the lower legs, the calves. That's going to be another head length right there. Very easy to break all this stuff down. Same thing with the arms. I don't know what I was erasing there. I don't know. I'm not going over too much muscle, anatomy on this one. I really want to get the proportions down and show you guys how I do it, how it looks. My style is very influenced by comic books and anime. I think real human anatomy, the truest human anatomy, medical anatomy, I think we're like 6 heads tall. So 7, 7.5, 8 is comic book range, and that's where they tend to be. But once you know the rules, once you know all the real anatomy, you can break it effectively. So learn real anatomy, then learn to break the rules. So the upper arm, the bicep, that's about 1 head length, and then the lower forearm, that's about another head length. Basically, as long as both kind of line up in the right way, you're good. Same thing there. Forearms are an interesting shape that are kind of tricky to draw. I mean, at least in the style that I'm trying to draw them, they can be kind of tricky, particularly the inside curve of that arm, because the wrist pinches in quite a bit. The wrist can get really skinny compared to the bulkiness of the forearm, and particularly where the elbow is. So just a little stuff to pay attention to. So I'm recording this and posting its real speed. This is actually how fast I draw. It's not particularly fast, but because of my confidence and knowledge in the subjects, I'm doing very little erasing and second guessing. So kind of speeds you up. When you know what you're doing, you will move faster. So here's the pecs, like I said, approximately 1 head length down. If I'm going too fast for you, feel free to pause the video, rewind, play it back, do whatever you need to do to learn the stuff. Because once you have all the stuff memorized, it'll speed you up a lot. Like I said, once you have that head drawn, that's your unit of measurement for pretty much everything. And you don't need to take a ruler and measure, and you don't have to literally measure. As long as it looks right, then it is right. And that's not like some bullshit that I made up. That's coming from Joe Kubert. Joe Kubert said that in a video of his. If it looks right, well, actually he said if it looks wrong, it is wrong. He didn't say if it looks right, it is right. But if it looks wrong, then it's wrong. No matter how much you try to justify why something is right. If it looks wrong, it's wrong. So I'm going to use that in reverse too. If it looks right, it's right. And those lines there are just kind of placeholders for his claws. Here comes the costume, bringing that in. So as you can see, once you have the base anatomy down, you can start adding on the other stuff. Don't worry about the costume and all that stuff till after you have the solid foundation down. And pay attention to how you're holding the pencil and how hard you're pushing down. Don't push down too hard, especially on just the under drawing, the skeleton. As it were, not the little Obviously, it's not a literal skeleton, but, you know, the bones of the drawing, the underlying. Don't push too hard. Unless you have the whole pencil set with the H, HB, B, all the way up to like 8B, unless you're doing it like that, then I guess you can push hard and start with a lighter lead like a H, 2H, and then build up to a B, and then you can even, you know, build it up to an HB. That's how I learned, and that's what I saw Joe Kubert do. I took a correspondence course with the Joe Kubert school, although I didn't finish it. But it came with like a DVD lesson thing, and Joe went over all this. He did like this base skeleton kind of drawing just like I just did, with a lighter lead like an H, and then he went to like a 2B, and he did a more finished drawing, and then he went to like the 8B and did the darker shadowed areas and stuff. It was really interesting to see. Nowadays, I think most artists would do like a blue line and then go into their pencil drawing, or a light box, which is actually what I like doing. I'll do, all of this is fine too, you know, doing a basic drawing, holding the pencil lightly and then cleaning it up. But the light box, definitely my preferred method, I think. So as you can see, within about 7 minutes, I have a pretty good rough skeleton and underdrawing done. So, like I said, find the head measurements and then you're golden. Subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, click the like button. Appreciate it. See you guys in the studio next time.